What's going on, my creative collective? Welcome to a special Pride Month message. I wanted to put this out there because I am not at all quiet about my queerness nor my transness, and this is a super awesome month that I celebrate in so many different ways, and that takes on a new meaning since coming out as trans. So I wanted to put this together to celebrate and to welcome everybody into what I think is like a kind of portal, right? Like I feel like portals are, energies that we can surf to step through and to, really help to actualize things that we want for ourselves and energies that we want to embody. And I feel like, queer and trans communities, so the LGBTQ2 plus community, for those who are American, two represents Two Spirit, which is to honor the place of Indigenous communities and Two Spirit identities as part of our community. But I think that we have such a gift to offer here, and that's not to be like we are such a gift, just so wonderful. I mean, in part, yes, but I think that we all learn from one another. And I think this month is a wonderful opportunity and sort of an opening for us to step into the energies that queer and trans people have, integrated into their lives all the time. Celebration, resistance, identity, coming out, transitioning, all of these ways that we take, we transmute energy. It's such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. So I wanted to put together this special message, just to say happy Pride Month. I'm rocking my Themperor shirt today. But I bought that a couple years ago from a friend who makes t-shirts, and I thought, what, that is awesome. My non-binary heart sings, right? So this, to me, this month is about what do we need to tell ourselves about? What power do we need to step into? What are we transforming for ourselves and others? How are we liberating ourselves? How are we using these energies in this time? Well, this month has always been like a portal for me that's super juicy and awesome. I just love it. And I saw a quote recently about how that talked about, I'll put it on the screen as I say this, but it talks about how God blessed me by making me trans for the same reason God made wheat but not bread and fruit but not wine, so that humanity might share in the act of creation. And that really captures this month, right? Like this page is about creativity and acts of creation and making and remaking, transmutation. I think of the death card in the tarot and new life that comes from things that have given us life that we release, and it's that ebb and the flow. And I can't think of anything that captures that better than this quote. And in general, I'm really jazzed about June because summer, but also because of Pride Month. We all have seasons that act like portals for us, this activation of specific energy. And some people might say, well, I'm not part of the community, so how can I? We all learn from one another all the time. Do you know how many people that I've danced down Yonge Street in Toronto during Pride, during the parades with, that were not part of the community? Because this is about celebrating the community, yes, but there's also ways that everyone gets to join in that, celebrating freedom, celebrating liberation, while also keeping an eye towards where we have to go still, right? Because all of that energy, it's not just about this big ass party, it's about looking to where we need to go, and all of the people who are there who are not part of the community are also committing to doing that work too. And in the same way that we commit to communities that we're not part of, by joining in, by listening, by paying attention, by sitting with things that make us uncomfortable. I ask you questions this month. Think of these questions and energies this month as you move through, because this is kind of a celebratory energy for me, but also keeping an eye towards the things that we can collectively work towards, because we know that within every community there are sub-communities or communities within communities that do still need help. And we see that very clearly with queer and trans communities, which ultimately is, I use interchangeable with LGBTQ2+, but we see how these different aspects of community are coming together, and everybody's welcome to this celebration, right? It's not just for us. It's not just, we don't want to essentialize here, right? So questions to think about. What are you coming out about? What are you realizing about yourself? When I think about what I've had to transform in terms of experiences in the church with hatred, where I was, told not to come, where I lost friends, all of those things, transmuting that energy into light, into a refusal to let any kind of shadow take over and tell you who you should be. This is about celebrating who you are. This is about celebrating the ways that you may have felt, I have no idea how this is going to happen, but I'm just going to take the leap and do it anyway. right? That's what transitioning was for me last year, right? July 29th, that'll be 1 year as Charlie and Auntie, and I've never felt more like myself, right? Never felt more like myself. And I'm so grateful for the person that I was before transitioning, because she helped me live to be who I am now, which is the most that I've ever felt at home in the world. So it's about integration. It's about alchemy. These things that come to my community, to our community. This isn't to push away those who don't belong, because it's not about belonging. One of the things that I love about this month is the energy of taking things that were not they were kind of harmful and transforming them, be it policy, be it perspectives, be it beliefs, be it gatekeepers in community, be it whatever it is. This is about transforming and change. This is where June has always felt like the month where we grow our wings. So my darlings, I wanted to put together this special Pride Month message to say a very happy Pride Month. And however you celebrate, do it safely. Oh my gosh, safely. And just remember, my darlings, you have so much light in you. You have so much light in you. So I hope that this month you not only shine that light, but that this month reminds you through and through of the power that you have within you, and how your queerness, how your transness, how your non-binariness, how your identity is a light for other people, just by virtue of you being yourself. You being yourself. And knowing what it means to experience joy. Because a lot of the time, the community can be seen as constantly, fighting, resilience, resistance. And that is part of it, yes. But there's also this deep joy. So don't just see the resistance. Look for the joy and resonate with that too. Queer joy, trans joy, non-binary joy, all of it. Bi joy, pan joy, right? Ace joy, intersex joy, all of it. All of it. I know I'm missing identities, but I'm wanting to make sure that I include as many as possible, right? Like all of these joys that we have. Resonate with the joy, because I can tell you that having done the resistance for so long, there's a joy aspect that you need to connect to as well. And if there's any indication in the world right now, we know that there are changes that can make the community feel uneasy. But I can promise you, again, having done this for over a decade in terms of organizing and activism in the community for queer and trans community, there is so much to be said for staying in the joy of it, right? That's why drag shows are such a great, so good, so great. You get to see the joy. We've transformed pain into something so powerful that everybody wants to take part in it this month. And I feel like we need to keep those doors open. We need to keep those doors open, but don't disconnect from the joy. Don't disconnect from the joy. Stay deeply connected to that and cultivate. What does queer joy mean to you? What does bi joy mean to you? What does trans joy mean to you? The moments where you are so wholly yourself that you can never imagine being anywhere other than that moment, because it's so perfect and you feel so at ease in your body. And if you're reaching for that point yet, you will get there. I spent all of my 34 years on this planet. I'm 35, but up until last year, 34 years in the closet as a trans person. Not everyone needs to transition either. So trans people do not need to take testosterone or estrogen. They do not need hormone therapy. They can exist as themselves without conforming to any specific standard. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm saying though is, if you look into Pride Month and say, I really want to be part of that, and I am, but I don't know how. Just breathe. Look to the way that people are experiencing their joy. Find the joy wherever you can, slivers of it. And whenever you're ready, just know that you've got a whole bunch of queers, trans, and non-binary peers waiting for you. And even if you're not ready, we're still here. We'll shine the light for you. Because not everyone gets to come out in this lifetime, right? It's just not possible. And it's not just about saying, go for the joy and screw everything else. No, it's about making space for everything in between. That is our superpower too. That is our superpower. My darlings, happy Pride Month. It's June 1st. Happy new month, happy Pride Month. I hope that this month acts as a portal of so much joy and light for you, wherever you are in that process, wherever you are celebrating this part of your identity, wherever you are and whomever you are, and however you're coming into this community and celebrating with us. So Happy Pride Month from a very, very excited queer non-binary being. Wherever this finds you on the time-space continuum, morning, afternoon, or night, I hope it finds you wrapped up in so much light, rainbows, and a whole lot of sunshine, my darlings. Love you guys. Take care.